welcome to the show. It's Wrestling with Entertainment, the only audio experience on the web today, the trusted source for interviewing all your favorite wrestlers every Tuesday and Wednesday, and previewing and reviewing the latest shows from WWE, AEW, New Japan, and everything in between every Saturday on YouTube and Castbox, sponsored by Rogue Energy and Player One Coffee. I'm, of course, your host, James J., alongside Kuliko Yachts.
I mean, we're getting there, man. That's what pay-per-view's coming. Do you feel it? Do you feel it? Although we fresh off a weekend, a good weekend, a good holiday weekend, I must say, and a lot of wrestling. We got some shit to go over. We got to just get into it. No time for jokes.
Well, it was a good week for Wrestling With as we interviewed Dustin Wolf on Monday, Carew on Tuesday, and Von Dugan on Wednesday. Three incredible interviews from three incredible individuals. Three great chats as well. Definitely cannot recommend any of those interviews more than I could. Definitely go into the archives and check them out if you haven't already. That brings us up to this upcoming Tuesday and Wednesday. This Tuesday we have Machiko, who is kind of semi-retired right now, taking time for shoot life. We talk about that. We talk about her last match, how she kind of got out of pro wrestling, what's kind of bringing her back into pro wrestling, a match against Victoria, a match against Britt Baker in AEW, Fireball Mania, and a hell of a lot more. Definitely go check that out. And then on Wednesday we have Nigel Foxy Fox, a referee from England, Ireland, I should say. He's done a lot. He was a pro wrestler for a good amount of time. He's refereed matches involving Minoru Suzuki, Tomohiro Ishii, Finn Balor, J.D. McDonough. He once pulled the gun on Pete Dunne. That story's in there. The Young Bucks Meltzer drived him once. We talk all of that and a lot more. We talk anime, we talk pixel art, which he is very well, which he makes very well. And yeah, it's just definitely a good chat with Niall. But don't take my word for it. Here's some clips now. At WrestleMania weekend was the start of Fireball Mania, no?
Oh, Lord, you're bringing out all of it. All right, I love it. Yeah, so it was that 2016 WrestleMania weekend. And so how it started was it was at the Terry Funk show. There was like an open bar there, I believe, or something. Anyway, so I'm in the locker room. I just finished up with my match. I want to say the show was actually about over, or at least mostly over. Maybe we were like in the middle of the main event or something. But, you know, my friend Brent was in the locker room, and we had another friend of ours. He came into the locker room with a tray full of Fireball shots, and he hands me one. And so, like, whenever I was a drinker, I was like, strictly just Jameson. That's all because I'm one of those, you know, because I'm a bartender too. You know, that's my shoot job as a bartender. That's what I've been doing for a long time. So, like, I'm very much, if somebody were to ask me how to avoid a hangover, I would tell you, cut out the sugars in your drinks and drink the same liquor throughout the whole night, and you'll be good to go. And drink a lot of water and make sure you eat a little bit. But so that's what I always kept with me. So I'm looking at the Fireball. I'm like, I really don't want to take this because I plan on drinking tonight. It's WrestleMania Sunday. I'm like, if I start my night like this, it might mess me up. And the whole locker room started yelling Mach. And Brent, of course, started it. And Brent was yelling it really loud. And so I finally just took it.
Was literally, and it wasn't planned beforehand. It was just an audible.
like an unspoken audible that happened mid-match. They were messing about with a gun. Yeah, gun came into play somehow, but somehow the gun fumbled onto the mat, and happened to land beside me. So I, in the moment, decided, you know what? I'm going to pick this up because I have to. It's right at my foot. Picked it up and decided, you know what? Stop your messing now. Get back to your wrestling and do as you're told. So, yeah, that's where that photo came about. Like, which was also funny because I think Pete Dunne had been signed just before that, or was signed at the time of that, which kind of had a couple of people messaging me privately saying, "Do you really want to have that photo online of you holding a gun to their current talent? Like, it'd be very questionable." I was like, but it's funny.
And then on the 10th, we have Chelsea the Mother. On the 11th, we have The Goose. On the 17th, we have Bogdan Klavmov. And on the 18th, Lainey Rosario. So, lots of new interviews coming up in the month of June already. It is not a great day for wrestling because we are wrestling with the news. And Rick Dillinger has passed away, unfortunately. If the name doesn't necessarily sound familiar, he is the individual that made Hulk Hogan's theme Real American. One of the most iconic themes of all time. Would you like to say anything about Rick Calico?
I mean, he made a, I mean, most people know, from that song. I mean, he's had a #1 hit, Hang On Sloppy, with McCoys. But as everyone here in the wrestling world knows him, is Hulk Hogan theme song. So, I mean, sorry about his loss, but that song is going to live forever. I mean, as long as Hulk Hogan doesn't ruin it.
I don't think even Hulk Hogan could ruin the song at this point. But yeah, definitely an iconic theme. And very noticeable from the first rung. Like, you know what song is being played and you know who's coming out. So, I mean, say what you will about Hulk Hogan, this song is iconic.
Yep, this is where you separate the song from the man, from the wrestler.
Now,
Although it's hard.
Now, if we could only separate...
I will say that.
Now, if we could only separate Our Lady of Peace from Chris Benoit, we'd be good to go.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah. Speaking of separation, somebody's coming for unification. Vince McMahon has announced that he is making a new media company called 14th and I. People are under the impression that he will be trying to buy back WWE. At this point, that wouldn't necessarily surprise me, but you say otherwise.
Yeah, because, I mean, even if he... My thing is this. His name is not hot right now. And that's where it's... Even if the things that... Because keep in mind, he's still under investigation. That's the reason they got him out in the first place. That's one. Two, it's going to take a hell of a lot of money to buy it back because you're not now buying back WWE. Because the question is, you're buying not just WWE, but TKO. Because you have to buy shares of TKO. It's no longer like you're just buying a separate company. Although it is a separate company, it's still a subsidy of a parent company, which is going to be very difficult for him. And I mean, that his name is hot and still under investigation for the alleged crimes. And I don't I don't see the I just don't see it happening. Honestly, it ain't happening. I got a better shot of buying WWE than Vince McMahon.
Well, logically speaking, yeah, it doesn't make sense that he would be able to buy back WWE. But then again, he is Vince McMahon, and he has defied all logic in the past. I don't think anybody thought that he would beat the government, yet he did. Nobody thought that he'd sell WWE for as much as he did, but he did. Nobody thought that he would come back, but he did. So, it would not surprise me if there was a loophole, a clause, anything that would give Vince McMahon an advantage to get himself back in there and get his company back. So,
Well, it's different when you're strong arming your family to get back than strong arm a board that really don't give two shits about you.
I mean, we'll definitely see how things play out. But like I said, it would not surprise me if he would be able to obtain WWE once again. And maybe prices would actually go down under a Vince McMahon regime once again.
How about we just staying in New Orleans when they announce Mania? Let's one task at a time.
Let's keep the promises that we've actually announced. Yeah.
Yeah, that. Start with that.
Doesn't seem like it, unfortunately. But one thing.
I mean, I see. Side note. Sorry to interrupt.
Mhm.
I see why they gave it up because UFC in New Orleans, the main card is Dustin Poirier. He's from New Orleans, and he's retiring, so that's his retirement fight. So his retirement fight is in New Orleans, which is his city. So I see why TKO was like, okay, well, let it ride with the switch. I think Dana White asked for the mulligan, but I didn't think WWE was like, okay, cool.
And we'll think about that. But I highly doubt WWE fans give a shit about UFC retirement matches.
That is true, but they're trying to merge those two, and it's two totally separate groups.
Right.
I'm one of the few that watch both and know both.
And I'm in the vast majority that only watch WWE.
And then there's another vast majority that only watch MMA. So yeah, I'm the hybrid. I'm Blade. Getting Walker. I could speak the language of both.
Our last bit of news this week, because we have a big show ahead of us, is JR. I'm not sure if we announced this or not, but he was diagnosed with colon cancer. He went for surgery. From what I'm hearing, it actually went well. And he should be able to make full recovery. So, good old JR. And we do hope him and wish him the best.
Exactly. Keep kicking at it too, JR. By God.
And and I don't believe I said this at the beginning, but our thoughts and prayers are with Rick Dillinger's friends and family as well.
Of course.
All right, and that brings us. That will conclude our coverage of the news, and then a quick word from our sponsors before we get into the heat of it all.
Yeah, let's just go.
So, Rogue Energy, the only gaming drink company in the world with 4 unique product lines to suit your task at hand, whether it be juices, shakes, smoothies, and everything else in between. Their low-calorie, no-sugar energy formula is the perfect alternative to sugar-filled canned energy drinks and sodas. Their extreme formula provides the most energy, focus, and sports performance possible. Their hydration line offers focus, ingredients without the added caffeine. Drink it anytime you're thirsty. And their shake formula is so delicious. Who doesn't love a cookies and cream, 0-calorie energy milkshake? First and foremost, they've designed every Rogue product line with performance and effectiveness in mind. It is critical that you look at the nutrition panels of drinks when comparing options. There are countless off-brands out there that are presenting low-quality, poorly dosed formulas that amount to expensive caffeine water. Every formula they produce is designed with optimal levels of high-quality ingredients. Additionally, you won't find a powdered gaming drink brand that dissolves better. No need to have chalky textures in your drink. Their taste profiles are unmatched, specifically designed for gamers, athletes, students, entrepreneurs, people with hectic schedules, individuals with low energy, podcasters who can't shut up, people who are health conscious, and so much more. Great as both a pre-workout and as a coffee energy drink replacement. Specifically designed every Rogue product line to be the best gaming drink on the planet. Rogue Energy, more focus, more wins.
Use promo code WRESTLINGWITHE for 10% off your next purchase.
And we are wrestling with WWE Saturday night's main event. It took place last Saturday. It'd be funny if they did Saturday night's main event on like a Tuesday, but maybe that's just me.
But that would be taboo.
I love the reference. Five cards on the match. On 5 cards on the event. Nothing necessarily out of the ordinary, unfortunately, but it was an interesting and somewhat entertaining. So, what say you, Kaliko?
Yeah, I mean, 5. Honestly, I mean, I can only imagine if you spent all that money for 5 matches. But watch what we about to do at Money in the Bank, and it's just like, you know what I'm saying.
Right.
But
Well,
with
with
that
preview.
being said,
That's a PLE. This is a
yeah, at least it was a
2-hour
pay-per-view.
glorified house show at this point.
There had been like more matches on that card. You can't tell me they just sat there for 2 hours. You know, I mean, never mind, because NXT does it like religiously. So yeah.
But,
So,
the difference between that show, those shows, and this show was that this was a 2-hour show. NXT and PLEs are 3 hours, sometimes 3 plus.
But I mean, this show did what it was supposed to do. A couple of surprises, a couple of upsets that I didn't see coming. But yeah, it did. For the most part, it did whatever it was supposed to.
There was a dark match before the show went on, because, giving the people what they want, by giving them exactly what they didn't want. American Made defeated Latino World Order, so you paid.
I mean, you got to give them hot with something, you know.
I mean, yeah.
No El Grande Americano.
No Grande Americano. It was Brutus Beefcase and Julius Creed.
Bruce Beefcake. Oh my God. I can't even say, please don't say that name, because every time I hear it, I think when Tony Storm said we're giving lap dances to Bruce to
Well,
Can't.
that brings us to the matches that were actually on the card. Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker, with Paul Heyman defeated CM Punk and Sami Zayn in 13 minutes 10 seconds. It was a good match. The crowd popped hard for CM Punk. Like CM Punk was their guy that night. Arguably the loudest pop of the night. And yeah, it was a pretty hot match. People were into it. I was into it. Definitely didn't expect that unexpected moment of having what is his name? Bronson Reed.
Bronson Reed.
Bronson Reed coming in and saving the guy that he put out for a couple of months in Seth Rollins. I mean, that didn't necessarily make all the sense in the world at the time, but we're going into some Vince logic in the Renaissance era, apparently. But yeah, I think it did what it had to do. The Dog Man has been announced, and we have a clear view of what's going on next. What say you, Kaliko?
Well, there goes the third guy being Sammy. Unless he's just going to be the fourth guy.
He's the fourth guy
To be
and
quite
just
honest,
four guys.
Yeah, he's the fourth guy, I guess. Yeah. But the only thing that got me was the match. I mean, we expected Seth in the win, so that was the given. Because of course, what happened with Raw, Seth qualifying Money in the Bank, so it catapults him. The shock is Reed coming back.
I didn't know that he was ready to come back. That he was cleared.
They didn't give a reason why he joined Seth, though. I think they need a clearer reason, because last I checked, Bronson Reed had put his ass out for the NFL season.
Right.
So they got to do a better job of explaining that. Then I see what they tried to do with him. Getting back to the match, yeah, it shows. It basically showed two people who were hodgepodge. The story, two people that were kind of like forced together to fight a cohesive unit, and the cohesive unit won. That is just going to be on a smaller scale, because I think the bigger scale is going to be when Roman comes back. So that's where I see, that's where I can see something possibly losing, but we don't know yet. So we'll see what happens there. But I think that was just a junior test run for like when Roman comes back, and then Roman and Punk eventually have to team up at SummerSlam.
Do you think that we'll see Roman cross-set the Money in the Bank, and they'll start the storyline between Punk, Roman, Seth Breaker?
With Money in the Bank, he might win it. Because it's him or LA Knight.
Well, I mean, we'll get into Money in the Bank when we get later.
We'll get into that, but if like you said, if Seth is to get costed in, I would expect Punk to cost it more so than Roman. It would make sense. Either one would make sense, but it seems like Punk has been that constant thorn in the side as of late. So that's why I say it would seem more like Punk would cost him than Roman.
How many stars do you give this one?
3.5. It was a good story. I mean, good match. It told the story it needed to be told. They had the surprise run in. Right team won. Like I said, when they do these factions and heels, you have to give them something to catapult with, and catapulting with a win is always big in my book.
I agree. The match was was 3 stars. The unexpected moment and the right team winning makes it 3.5. Alright, then we have Zelina Vega defeating Chelsea Green to retain the Women's United States Championship in 5 minutes and 10 seconds. Not Ito Gold's best outing, especially that botched 619 that literally broke Chelsea Green's nose. So I want to say that they understood the assignment. They took the assignment, but they did not pass the assignment, if I'm being honest.
Mm-hmm.
It was just an okay match that was only heightened because of how horribly wrong it went.
Right.
I mean, luckily, Chelsea is running with it, only Chelsea could, but it still doesn't excuse breaking somebody's nose, if I'm being honest.
True. I mean, but I told you that she was winning. I mean, that threw me off, and I only think the only reason they would have her lose is to. I'm trying to think. Is she in? I think there's one more spot in the Money in the Bank.
There is, but I'm pretty sure that it goes to a Raw competitor. It's either going to go to Vakor, Liv, or I can't remember who the last.
It ain't going to live. It ain't going to live.
But it's not going to Nile either.
Yeah, Nia just lost. So I'm thinking either it's Chelsea Vakor, Chelsea or Vakor. One of those two.
It's either going to be Liv or Stephanie because they're in the last qualifying match on June 2nd.
Oh, well, fuck it. Stephanie getting it. It ain't going to be. I mean, she just lost.
But how could it go to Stephanie when she's going to be wrestling literally hours before the show at Worlds Collide?
You don't think they're going to put a double duty on that ass?
I mean, it's not like that ass can handle double duty, but do you really...
Yeah, that ass can handle quadruple duty. What are you talking about?
But... I mean, do you want to burn her out even before she gets to the main roster?
They've been burning her out since she got on the motherfucker.
I mean, true, but at some point,
Her first match was at a Supercard show in Mexico. What the fuck are you talking about? They didn't burn her ass out day one. Oh, yeah, you got here, get to work.
I mean, but let's talk. We're getting ahead of ourselves. Zelina Vega, Chelsea Green. How many stars?
2.5. I thought Chelsea was gonna win. I was shocked. Zelina won. I ain't even gonna lie to you.
I give it. It was a 2-star match, but with the injury, I'll give it 1.5. Out of curiosity, did our good friend Dave Meltzer rate these matches?
You know what? Fuck him. Fuck it. Our only mat rankings that matter are ours. As much as I want to say guess that rating, oh, this motherfucker did do it. This son of a bitch. He is the most inconsistent motherfucker. Ay, ay, ay. I can't. I cannot.
Would you like to do your intro?
Reluctantly, America, I have to give you another episode of Guess That Rating with Kaliko Yastradamus, Jazzy James J, trying to
Jazzy?
figure out what the biggest mark of all marks rates his matches. All right, so we're second match in, so I'll do this. I'll let you guess the Punk Zayn match first, then we'll get to Chelsea.
Okay. So we gave Punk and Zayn versus Seth Breaker 3.5 each. We agreed on that.
Yes,
I
we
say,
agree.
I say that Meltzer gave it a 3.
Higher.
3.5?
3.5. You agree with us.
Look at us.
He's lucky. He's lucky. Now on to Vega Green.
I think me and Dave might be vibing on this one. 1.5.
Nope.
2.
Nope.
1.25.
Nope.
Okay, what is it?
In a first. No rating.
He didn't rate the match?
I guess he didn't think it was worthy to rate.
Wow.
I can't help you there.
Is that worth as much as a 0-star match?
I mean, I would think he could do a 0-star match. I mean, to be fair, he didn't rate the pre-show, so I don't. Maybe he went to the bathroom. Diverticulitis. Who knows? I don't know. Who knows?
That brings us to John Cena defeating R-Truth in 4 minutes and 25 seconds.
No. It was John Cena defeating Ron Cena.
Yep. You're correct on that. I wanted to like this match. Like, the hype going into it was, like, really, really good. Like, there was a lot of hype with John Cena versus Ron Cena and the entrances and then this was basically a squash match, honestly. And that was the most disappointing thing about it. It should have been a lot longer than it was. And all honestly, they could have cut Vega and Green and gave this like an extra 4 minutes. But yeah, this isn't what I necessarily wanted it to be. It was kind of a letdown. What say you, Kaliko?
I ain't gonna lie, that Ron Cena had me popping. I literally tried to buy this shirt. If it weren't for the fact that shirt wasn't coming out or wasn't gonna come to my house in time for Money in the Bank, that would be the shirt I'm wearing to Money in the Bank.
So you pre-ordered?
Just saying. Oh hell yeah. My kid hates it though. He hates it. And that tells you everything you need to know. The fact that it irritated a 9-year-old that he came out and everything everything before the bell rang was awesome. And then the bell rang. And you're like, fuck. I thought this match would have been, honestly, were we really expecting like a 2002 R-Truth match?
I don't think that we were expecting, a 5-star Tokyo Dome match, but I feel like we should have gotten at least a more entertaining match than 4 minutes and 25 seconds. Like,
I mean, that match was entertaining for what it was. I ain't gonna.
but
Him hitting that not 5-knuckle shuffle, I'm just saying, like.
right. But it could have been a little bit longer and a little bit more entertaining.
Well, the match itself was 4 minutes, but then you got the shit that happened after, which is part of it.
Right.
I will say this though, the thinking of the what's the word I'm looking for? The fact that Cena didn't hit Truth with the belt during the match, it almost felt like, it's almost like, how can I put it? He kind of saw himself for a second there. I don't know if that was blatant, like for the storytelling that it is, but that little second caught my eye. But then he was like, "To hell with it. We're just gonna keep going all the way," and he went all the way with it. So it's no different.
How many stars you give this one?
I mean, if it was before the bell rang, this would have been like 4. The simple fact that R-Truth got a pop like that coming out to John Cena in that shirt, I'm done. But then the bell rang, and it lasted 4 minutes. I guess John Cena got a flight to catch. Yeah, I mean, I feel like 2 is generous.
I'll say it this way. The match was 2 stars, but everything overall around it was 2.5 stars. The entrance was worth a half a star.
I mean, that entrance alone. I mean, it was funny because they tried to pan to Cena, and he tried not to break so hard. It's just hard. You could just tell because like he was doing like I've never seen Cena do a duck lip. That's how you know he was trying not to break. I mean, Truth can make a break, bro. I'm just saying. Dude's nice.
Speaking of breaking, Damian Priest defeated Dave Meltzer. He gave this 1.5.
Lower.
1.25.
1.25. How dare he? He was not entertained.
Guess he doesn't include the entrances.
I mean, maybe not. I mean, who knows? I mean, true.
Yep. Damian Priest defeated Drew McIntyre by escaping the cage in a solid steel cage match in 11 minutes and 50 seconds. Could have gone 10 more seconds to be a solid 12, but I don't remember too much of this match. It was solid wrestling, but I think the most memorable thing about it was Jesse Ventura's meltdown. Yeah. Of Damian Priest just walking out of the cage. unfortunately, I think that's what people are going to remember going forward with this match. Um, Not taking away from
I know
everybody.
he's like, you could have climbed the top. he he went off. I was like, God damn, bro.
I feel like this needed more time to breathe just to be a better match, but I digress. Um, it seems like everything was just too short, in my opinion. With the only exception being the first match, which was the tag team match, which I think was timed perfectly.
I mean, this one, but I mean, if you watch the Mania match, I mean, you weren't going to top that with a steel cage.
Um, I agree with that.
Uh, I just think this match was for Priest to kind of, because I mean, it seems like it's over, and it gives Drew a loss without a pin, and that's what's important. It protects Drew. It gives Priest a win that he desperately needed without killing Drew's momentum.
I think Drew McIntyre is taking some time off right now. Um,
I couldn't put it past him.
and that's why they had the match, so there would be a reason why he was off TV. Um, so if that was actually the case, I mean, I couldn't necessarily tell you why Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre continued the feud after WrestleMania. It kind of seemed, cut and dry. Drew won, need the next, but they just kept going. Um, but if Drew's taking some time off, it makes sense. Priest gets a win, not necessarily giving Drew McIntyre a pin. There's a reason why Drews are not on TV, and Priest is looking strong going into Money in the Bank.
Right.
So,
That is true.
if you sort out that equation, how many stars you give it?
I mean, it's a three. It's a good match, but nothing to write home about. I mean, if you're gonna bump it up more, it's because fucking Ventura had an old man Dennis the Menace get off my yard rant at the end. But
Yelling at the clouds?
I know, just yelling at the sky like Jesus Christ.
Um, I mean, yeah, if we're counting the Jesse Ventura rant, then maybe this was a 5-star match. But if we're talking about if we watched it on mute, then this would probably just be a 3-star match, in my opinion.
Yes, on mute, 3-star, easy.
All right, Uncle Dave is definitely not as generous as us, so I'm gonna say 2.25.
Higher, actually.
2.5.
Uh, let's go higher.
2 7/5.
3 3/4. This match got a higher rating than Breaker, the tag match.
Hmm.
So thus far, Meltzer has this as his match of the night. Granted, there's one more match left.
And that is the World Heavyweight Championship match. Jey Uso defeated Logan Paul in 9 minutes 45 seconds. Um, it is interesting that John Cena had that little confrontation with Uso before the match. So it would definitely make sense to stand the reason to say that if John Cena wants to ruin pro wrestling, then he would want Logan Paul to win the World Championship. But I wouldn't necessarily call that a compliment to Logan Paul. I would maybe say that that's more of a put down of Logan Paul. Nonetheless, he's teaming with him at Money in the Bank. So I digress.
Yes.
I think it made sense. The match was nothing to write home about. It was one of what is his name? Logan Paul's weaker performances as of now. But it was kind of just to get to what we all thought. Well, what were they setting up? Cody Rhodes coming back, making the save for Uso, tag team match at Money in the Bank.
Mm-hmm. Right. So it did what it was supposed to do.
What say you
Yeah,
about the match?
I agree. It got to where it needed to go. The whole purpose of it was to get to goddamn Money in the Bank and get Cody a reason to come back for Cena. Uso won because he's really popular, no matter what they say.
Mm-hmm.
So now he gets to deal with a tag match before getting to Gunther. But for now, it was an okay match. I just you would think the stylistically it would make sense, but I mean, it's just a lack of chemistry for me with them too.
I think it could have, like I said, it could have been better if they had time to breathe.
Breathe? Shit, Jay was breathing fucking from the entrance. What are you talking about?
What I mean is,
and I love Jay, but man, boy, you better learn how to control your energy going down them goddamn ramps.
What I mean is, have time to actually get used to each other and feel things out. Take their time rather than rush a 9-minute match.
I felt like they had to rush the 9-minute match because all the other shit that was going to happen after.
Right. Because it wasn't really a match to begin with. It was just a segment to set up.
A reason for Cena to try to fuck him over. Yeah, it was basically a reason to set the tag match.
Right. And that's all it really was. That being said, unexpected moment to see Cena interfere. Very welcome moment for Cody Rhodes to come back. And Cody got a pop, which, wasn't the case when he left.
Let me stop. I'm not gonna say nothing. I'm shutting the fuck up because that ain't got nothing to do with it. I'm not gonna beat that horse, but they set him up to fail that WrestleMania.
Right.
So I don't know what the fuck they were thinking, but of course they like Cody, but they also understand Cena. We're smart enough to know it's Cena's last year, so everybody's gonna be cheering for the motherfucker on his way out the door, no matter how much you want us to boo him.
How many stars you give this one?
Although the booing seems forced, but the booing is forced, but it would have been. Never mind. If they did this at Mania, it'd be a whole different trajectory. But that's either. Neither here nor there.
How many stars you give this one?
A 3? It was like 9 minutes. It ain't that much I could do. Once Cena came out, we knew shenanigans was popping off. So
yeah, I agree with that. 3 stars. Alright, this event as a whole, thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs in the middle.
It was good. I give it a thumbs up. I mean, it was good because you had a couple of surprises. You had some things we thought were going to happen, not going to happen. And Cody came back and it sets up what happened at Money in the Bank. So, I mean, the people seemed happy with it. So, I can't. I mean, the crowd seemed uber into it. So, reading the crowd, it seemed like it was a thumbs up for them. So, why wouldn't it be for me?
Um, I give it thumbs in the middle. Um, I wouldn't necessarily say I go back and watch this event. Even though there were some memorable moments in it. Especially, the rant by Jesse Ventura, which was hilarious.
The rant was everything.
Yeah,
The rant was everything.
that was the whole show. So thumbs in the middle seems fair. It wasn't a bad show. It just wasn't the best show, I would say.
Right.
Alright, that will conclude our coverage of WWE, Saturday night's main event. And we are wrestling with WWE NXT Battleground. Took place the next day after Saturday night's main event. Could we guess what day that is? At the same city, Tampa, Florida, same venue, the Grueling Center, with a grueling week of WWE shows that week. But yeah, 6 matches, a solid show to say the least. Everything worked for me in this one. What say you, Kaliko?
Yeah, everything worked. But NXT's, I mean, it's crazy. This card had it was a bigger card than Saturday Night Main Event, which is crazy. But yeah, a lot of good matches on this card. I think, and some hella crazy moments. But yeah, let's get into it. I think it was a good show.
I agree. NXT Women's North American Championship. Sol Ruka with Zarya defeated Kalani Jordan in 12 minutes and 59 seconds. This did not seem like it was a 13-minute match. It seemed like this went on for maybe like 20 minutes. And I do say that.
It felt like it.
But I say that in a good way. Like everything that they were doing, all the setups, all the moves, everything hit really well. And I really appreciate Zarya, not necessarily interfering in the match until, the 11th hour. That cost Kalani, and we got that super soul snatcher at the end that everybody, gift and was the highlight of the match. Which was just a fantastic move in its own. But everything leading up to that worked. The athleticism, the story, it all chef's kiss, in my opinion. What say you, Kaliko?
Honestly, that match actually, to me, this was probably the match of the night.
You might be right about that.
Because it was a great match. Both people laid it out. Even with the interference, it's enough. The interference is enough to say to Kalani that Kalani can say she got screwed, but it wasn't uber nefarious in killing the match, if that makes sense.
No, it does.
So, and then that Soul Snatcher band, goddamn, that's just The only thing that kills it is that you just can't hit that bitch out of nowhere. But if she can, bro, watch out. But they've been high on her for a minute. But then she ran into the, island of torn ACLs and then and fucking yeah. So she's finally getting to show her athleticism, which I must say they work really well together. Those two from a chemistry standpoint, it was just like high flying. It felt like it never was a slow pace, if that makes sense.
No, absolutely.
It felt like it was that match seemed like it was all go, all gas, no brakes. Sorry, Fatu, but sorry.
Y'all mean?
Yeah. Hold on, how did Solo go? Yeah, me.
And it kind of shows you how both girls have progressed because I believe, it was this very event last year where Kalani walked in as North American champion, and so Ruka was the challenger, and they had a good match, but it definitely wasn't the level of this match. So it just shows you how far they both improved since that last match as well.
Well, Kalani's got a personality, and Soul got to highlight her personality. Because they tried to sell Soul as it was weird, like a beauty surfer girl, rather than just selling her as a surfer athlete.
And like you said, they maybe didn't have the same personalities that they had back then. Kalani was just, white bread baby face, and Soul wasn't in, the storyline that she's in with Zario right now, which is going to explode at some point.
Mm-hmm.
So, how many stars do you give this one?
I mean, it's a good 4.5. I mean, and plus Sol Ruka from Ontario, California. Cali's home, baby.
Oh, she's from Cali?
Yes, sir. I mean, come on, bro. Surfing, you only surfing in 2 areas.
They said that she's from Hawaii.
That bitch born in Ontario, California. Check the birth certificate.
Okay then. Oh, I agree with you. 4.5. Did
But yes, he did. I mean, I don't know. For him, I guess some people got pissed because he didn't have his ratings in time from the last one, but I guess he updated them hoes now.
Okay. And from your reaction, it kind of seems like this Uncle Dave wasn't as generous as we were.
I mean, I'll let you decide. You think that through. Let's see.
3.25.
Actually, higher.
3.5.
Higher.
4.
4.25.
4.25. Okay, so he was only a quarter of a star less than what we gave it.
Yeah, he only fucked it over by half a star for the double, for the Soul 2 champs.
Now we have a 6-man tag match. Hank and Tank. Hank Walker, Tank Ledger, with Josh Briggs defeating the Colleen, Brooke Jensen, Nico Vance, and Sean Spears with Izzy Dane. They won in 9 minutes 26 seconds. Nice little cool down from the last match. Unexpected win by Hank and Tank with Briggs. And the Japanese guy that Briggs teams with made a surprise return as well. Kind of shows you where the Colleen is in the pecking order. But yeah, I didn't have too many objections with it.
I mean, I knew this match was fucked when you had your veteran saying, "I'm depending on you to win to help me to get this match." I'm like, what the fuck? When that package pop, I'm like, what the? Oh yeah, they get their ass beat because there's nobody who says who's the leader saying, "I'm depending on you," even though you're inexperienced. Like, what the fuck kind of shit is? Ay, ay, ay. Help me, Lord Jesus. I don't know what the fuck they doing with the culling, but they better figure it out quick. We thought that the culling was going to win to set up the tag match, but
They did not.
they had other fucking plans. So with that being said, the tag team wins and they are going to be riding high on them belts for a hot minute.
How many stars you give it?
3?
Yeah, I agree with that. 3. Dave Meltzer.
Yep, guess it. Guess that bitch is right now. Just
2.5.
higher, surprisingly.
2 7/5.
Higher.
3.25.
3.25.
Okay. Alright, we have Channing Stacks Lorenzo defeating Tony D'Angelo in 15 minutes and 14 seconds. I'm sorry, but I could not care less about either guy. I don't think Tony D'Angelo is a good wrestler. I don't think he's a great character. I don't think that he'd get over in any other place that he is, except NXT, in the character that he's in. He's definitely not going to be main roster the way that he is now. It was a good match. I'll give them that. The athleticism was there. There was some story to it. Obviously, the right guy won. If you do the heel turn, then you have
justify it with the win. You're learning, young man. You are learning, young Padawan. Look at you.
So there's that. But other than that, I couldn't necessarily care less about either guy. But what say you, Kaliko?
I mean, yeah, I understood the story going in. I just think, and the right person won. Now your question is, where does D'Angelo go from here? And plus, everybody was just waiting on the next match over, which was McCord versus Grace. So yeah, this was kind of just like get you prepped for the upcoming match.
How many stars you give it?
3. I mean, granted, people didn't care. I mean, I wouldn't say people didn't care. Granted, it did what it was supposed to do. It told the story about the betrayal. The right guy won, getting over on D'Angelo. I don't think that this means it's over, but it just sets Stacks as him being his own man.
Right. We're kind of on the same wavelength today. I'll give it 3 as well, because while I don't like either guy, I don't care about about either of them or their personalities or their storylines. I can also appreciate when a story is well done, and that it was well done. So I give it 3 as well. Alright, the main event, the match why people were there, even though there's 2 matches after it.
Wait a
NXT.
minute, wait a minute. You just gonna go over Meltzer's rating like that?
Oh, that's right. Okay, Dave, Uncle Dave gave this. mm, 3 and a quarter.
Lower.
3.
3. Indeed.
NXT Women's Championship match. Stephanie McClure defeated Jordan Grace in 16 minutes and 7 seconds. Great hard-hitting match. We got to see a more vicious side of La Primera. And I love the fact that the fans are catching on to the Devil's Kiss reaction when she hits into the opponent's face into the mat. Obviously, Booker T has a very interesting reaction to it, and now the crowd is emulating that with the yeah. You gotta love it.
Yes.
But yeah, everything worked. Jordan was obviously a very credited opponent for Vakor to vanquish. Like I said, she was super aggressive in the match as well. Both of them were. Just a hard-hitting match, and it was all positive on my side. What say you, Kaliko?
This match, although they both seemed, it felt clunky a little at times. I'm not gonna say it. I mean, and it's just because Jordan is just this big girl, so you're not gonna be able to do. Stephanie isn't gonna be able to do the things that she usually be able to do, which actually plays into the style of the match. But the core won, but the body language after the match, you could tell, because I've seen where she's won matches and she's like, she kind of gets up with ease and kind of, you could tell that she was like the best. And this one, she came and you knew she barely got by. It felt like, and this is how I tell people, if you're into college football, it felt like Georgia versus Alabama, and Alabama barely getting by after doing everything that they could and winning it at the end. That's what it felt like. Which set up Tuesday for Vanderbilt. And we'll get to that in a minute.
No, let's get into it now. You have, one of the most dominant performances as, a women's wrestler, just vanquishing, as they call the juggernaut, Jordan Grace. You would think going into a title match on a random Tuesday night, yeah, La Primera has it. She's gonna win. Wrong. Your new NXT Women's Champion, JC Jane, last Tuesday. Yeah, and you could see by people's reactions, like even the announcer's jaw dropped. Nobody saw it coming, and it was
I
just
saw it coming.
it was just a bullshit. Bullshit.
Bullshit. I saw that coming.
Oh,
If you paid attention to how her body language afterwards, I mean,
the match itself, yes, you kind of could tell that Stephanie was maybe showing fatigue, but from Saturday to Tuesday, you
Sunday to Tuesday.
Sunday to Tuesday, those 2 days leading up to that match, you couldn't say, oh well, you think JC's gonna win the match when they announced it.
Well, the thing is that when was the last time a champion in NXT won a title match and had a quick ass turnaround on that defense of the title? Like a 2-day, 3-day turnaround defense of the title.
Ah, you're gonna have to make me check cage match at this point.
I mean, you might wanna because it's rare. So
Right.
we were just sitting up here. You sit up here talking about, oh well, you think she, how could you ride out your biggest star? That's the whole point of this, is that they're riding her and it's getting to her. The story is the one. It was, she had a chance to get the pin and she didn't get it. So one, she kind of, I don't know if that's a fatigue thing or a cocky thing, but she missed that. She missed that. Two, you got her not only having to deal with dealing with the post-match stuff, remember, because she's about to go to Worlds Collide.
Right.
That popped off. And then you got the Jordan, I call it the Jordan Grace Georgia effect, because when you go against somebody who is as powerful and protects Grace because of the simple fact that, yeah, you lost, but bitch, you ain't walking out the same way you walked in. You ain't, you know what I'm saying? You feeling different. And that helps Grace. So it's a win. Honestly, it's a win-win-win for all of them, because Vakor can make the argument, I didn't have to give you this title. I'm a fighting champion. You just happened to catch me when I was, fatigued. Grace can give the excuse, yeah, I lost, but the only reason JC Jane won is because I was tearing her ass up, and I should have been the winner on Sunday. It gives JC Jane the effect of everything now.
Right.
And remember, Fatal Influence had to get that receipt on Stephanie Vakor, because didn't Fallon Henley beat Vakor for the North American title?
Yeah, the Court defeated Henley for the title. Yeah.
You didn't think they were going to get that get back?
Right. And it's definitely not lost that, Fallon and JC have been bickering the last month or so vigorously.
Yes.
And then what was the deciding factor in JC getting the pin? Well, it was a kick from Henley to Vakor.
And that's going to further their shit because of the simple fact that JC's gonna hang it over her head that I beat the motherfucker you couldn't beat, and Hanley is just gonna go, bitch, the only reason you beat her is because I helped you. So that's where they're celebrating now, but I expect it to come to that grip in a minute.
And Nyx is just in the background somewhere.
And Nyx is chilling in the background. But yeah, I mean, congrats to JC Jane. I mean, she was due.
Oh yeah.
It was just, we just didn't think it was going to be against, y'all didn't think it was going to be against the core, but.
This Tuesday in Tampa.
You know what I'm saying? Taboo Tuesday in Tampa.
Very true.
But
oh, continue.
Back to Battleground.
Well, no, let me just say about JC Jane, definitely well deserving. The way that she has been able to advance and evolve in the 5 years she's been in WWE to finally get to this moment, definitely hats off to her. If you told me from Toxic Attraction that she would be the breakout, and honestly the last one standing out of the three, I definitely would have not believed that. But here we are. J, your NXT Women's Champion. One Priscilla Kelly, you're Marty Jannetty.
Hey man, but then again, Sean's high on JC.
Because JC has a
I mean,
personality.
JC, she has a personality, but she's also, because this puts her as a champion that people think they can beat.
The chicken shit heel gimmick.
No, not even a chicken shit heel. I just think of it more as and she said it herself, an underestimated champion.
Very true.
I think this run could have her as a heel underestimated champion. If I were to put it, I would think more honky tonk intercontinental reign, where you were beating people and you're beating names that people think you shouldn't be beating. But I mean, I could see 5, 6 month reign.
I could see that as well. Yeah.
Because the core is going to. I mean, she's about to do double duty at Money in the Bank, but who else? Grace is going to be on her heels.
Not from what I've heard. From what I hear is that her, Rakur, and Ricky Saints are all going to the main roster. With Rakur going to Raw, it's already announced that she's a part of the Raw roster. Grace, soon to be announced for the SmackDown, and Ricky Saints, yet to be determined.
Till it's official. But like I said, but now she's got a whole bakery to fend off.
Right.
And if those two are gone, it actually makes sense for her to have a great reign.
And
because she's better. I mean, she could beat Parker. She could beat Kalani. She could beat Zara.
Zarya.
She could be Soul. She could be Zarya. She could be Soul. She could be Thea. She could be. I think the only person she's gonna have a problem with is Lash.
I think Lash is beatable.
I mean, she's beatable, but I'm just saying stylistically, no, she's gonna have a problem with that.
I think they're gonna be because obviously, a good chunk of the NXT women's roster is now, on the main roster. Obviously Roxanne, Julia, Rakur, and Grace. That's four, top women. And the LFG girls are probably going to be wanting to make their debut sooner rather than later as well. With the main one being Tyra May Steels. And I mean, she's a freaking gold medalist. She won a gold medal without a broken freaking neck.
Oh, God.
So, I mean, you could say, yes, JC's maybe more experienced in a wrestling ring, but if she's going up against an Olympic gold medalist, obviously your money's going to be on the gold medalist, right?
I mean, you would think, but like I said, underestimated heel. Right. It always works.
So we'll definitely see. But yeah, Rakur, the Rocket strapped her ass, and it's taken her straight to Money in the Bank and Monday Night Raw. It's crazy that she's been there less than a year and she's conquered as much as she has in a certain amount of time.
Yeah, there's nothing else for her to conquer there. I mean,
Right. For her to have as much impact in such a short amount of time is insane.
that is true.
How many stars do you give this one?
What, the Jordan Grace match or the
Yeah.
Taboo Tuesday?
No,
Oh,
Stephanie Jordan.
Solid 4. It felt like you could tell that they were trying to get used to being together as far as stylistically, but they were able to get it done. And the fact that she got by.
Yeah, I'll give it 4 as well. Uncle Dave gave this. Let's go 4.
Yeah, 4.
Okay. Alright, that brings us to the NXT Championship match.
Next.
Saba Odi Acapelico defeated Miles Bourne in 16 minutes, 49 seconds. I think it was a good showing for Miles Bourne. I don't think anybody expected him to win. Good showing, maybe not a great showing. It could have thrown him in a better light, but I think that's just his inexperience more than anything. But Oba is him right now as NXT champion.
Yes, and he is the man. He's just,
Yeah. And we'll see what happens between him and Jasper Troy. Obviously Miles Bourne is getting thrown out of Catch-22 quarter crew of the Apocalypse or whatever the fuck they're called.
The catch, blah, 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 blah. All I know is Ren's Day, because I keep watching her shit. Happy Ren's Day. Good shit.
Yeah, and Patrick Dempsey is gonna feud with Miles Bourne, and everybody be happy. But yeah. What say you about this match?
I mean, it just showed. I mean, she gave it a go, but the inexperience of being in the bright lights is the difference. That's why he's the champ. That's essentially the story. It's like, he gave it all he got, but at the end of the day, the guy who's been, Obafemi has been main eventing for a hot minute. He's been in these things for a minute. So, someone's first title match against somebody in their 6th or 7th is going to show in the end, and that's what it did.
How many stars do you give this one?
3, because we knew. We come on, bro. We knew. We knew, bro. We knew, bro.
I agree. 3 stars.
We knew, bro. We knew.
Alright, Uncle Dave gave this, I'm gonna say 3 stars as well.
Higher.
3 1/4.
Higher.
3 7/5.
3 7/5.
Okay. And that brings us to the main event, the last match. TNA World Championship match. Trick Williams defeated Joe Hendry in 14 minutes and 58 seconds to become the Trick-N-A World Champion.
Trick and ass. Oh, sorry. Trick and Sorry, people. Sorry, America. My bad.
I thought that this was a good match. Everything that worked, in my opinion. The way that Trick won, in nefarious means. Um, it it kind of worked. I could also see where the referee could have just thrown it out, but I digress. Um, but yeah, it was just hilarious to see the president of TNA all smiles when the match started, and then when the match ended, all frowns.
I
Um,
know that guy, man. I've met him on 2 different occasions. I must admit that I ain't finna lie to you. That kind of broke my heart for. I ain't even gonna lie to you because, and I'm only putting this with my experience because I was sitting next to him when Joe Hendry popped out at Mania, and the proud papa face that he had compared to this, it was just heartbreaking. Just heartbreaking. It was just damn.
but I
And
think
it's like they knew exactly where to pan on his ass too. I feel like Shawn Michaels was like pan straight to him. Get, get to his ass. Oh Lord.
But no, I think everything worked in this match. Everything came together. Trick is now your a 3-time world champion. Um, Defeated Joe Henry. It gives Joe Henry a mountain to climb. Obviously, Santana is up next for a title match, so we'll see what happens there. Um, but yeah, what say you, Kaliko?
Um uh it just shows that he got caught. I honestly, I mean, the same way I can make the same way we make the argument for Stephanie Vacour being overused, Joe Hendry in the last month has been on that same time. And when you put in the factor that TNA had a pay-per-view Friday in which they both were in that match. So in which Joe Hendry got the most of them, and I called that. Let's just say, Yastradamus called that. Run the tape, because I said, I was like, oh yeah, they had the pay per view Friday, and the main event was Kazarian and Trick versus Hendry and Elijah, and I said they won. It's like that means Trick winning Sunday, right?
I'm pretty sure that
So
we both thought that Trick was going to win.
I mean, it may, but it's nuts.
Yeah.
It's nuts that he won, and now can't tell him shit, boy. He's been having a hell of a week. Bought a house, got an album, had a rap concert. Goddamn, boy, he on one. He feeling himself. I do like the fact that he did the little Joe Hendry turn. Afterwards, it was like, let's talk about it. Shit, shit has me crying. I ain't gonna lie to you. It's just like,
He's definitely a better heel than he is a face, if I'm being honest.
He's a good. It's why he's a good heel. It's the reasoning that he's good, because in his face, he's basically NXT's. He feels as if he's NXT's Drew McIntyre, because ever since he lost to Oba, he never got a one-on-one,
He didn't
and
even lose the
everyone
title in a
keeps.
one-on-one, so yeah.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? He lost the title in all of his rematches, never really got it, and then everyone just calls him a whiny motherfucker, when in actuality, he has a point. Then Joe Hendry comes running his nose into business, and Trick was like, all right, I'll fuck you up then. And sure enough, he fucked him up. There you go. That's how that goes.
A justified heel.
I mean, justified and indeed justified.
One could say petty, but I digress.
I mean, yeah, you can. But I mean, hey, that they did it. They did it to themselves. Trick knew what he was talking about. Everybody else was just playing in his face. So hey, that's how he feels about it.
And just for people to know, for Saturday night's main event, the attendance was 9,761. There was one ticket available. So one ticket available for from being a complete sellout. So they did well with that. Battleground was set up for 8,000. They were attendance was 7,717. Triple sevens there. Tickets available were around 4,000, around 500 tickets available for it not to be a sellout. So, for anybody that's interested in those facts. But back to Trick and Joe. How many stars you give that one?
Uh, a good. I mean, it's like a 3.5. I mean, the shocker was what got you. I mean, because that was just as shocking. I mean, NXT is on a roll with this shock shit. They're trying to give people heart attacks. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what the fuck they doing, but they trying to give cats heart attacks, and they're working it.
Yeah, I think that's a fair assessment. 3.5 stars. Everything worked. Right guy won. Got the good pop. That good pop. Made all sense. Now, as long as Trick loses the title back to Joe Henry and not somebody like I don't know Javon
Santana.
Evans, then I think we'll be okay.
Oh gosh, dude. Yeah.
I mean, it's not literally no slack to Javon Evans, but an NXT wrestler losing a TNA title to another NXT wrestler, come on, don't be
I mean,
dumbass like that.
that would make somebody look silly. I ain't even gonna lie to you.
Not looking at you, Tony Khan.
Oh Lord.
Yeah. Uncle Dave. 3 7/5.
Lower.
3 1/4.
Higher.
3.5.
3.5. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll let him slide.
How many stars? No. The show as a whole. How many? Thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs in the middle.
2 matches that were kind of questionable, but the rest were bangers. Thumbs up.
Agreed. Thumbs up. And that will conclude our coverage of NXT Battleground. And we are wrestling with AEW Double or Nothing. Took place in Glendale, Arizona at the Desert Diamond Arena. And, yeah. Let's get this shit over with.
Damn. I mean, it was only on at the same time. You know what's crazy? NXT, they both started roughly at the same time. NXT was done. NXT was done when they were still having. I was looking at the pace of this match, of the way the matches went throughout the night, and by the time NXT got the Stacks and Channing, they were still on FTR and McGuinness. Like,
That. Oh my God. Yeah. Yeah.
Like, because I was watching them both simultaneously. Like, I had the little laptop screen and AEW on the big TV. But yeah, the pacing was like freaking nuts.
I wanted to do double screen, but I just didn't feel like it at that moment to watch double wrestling at the same time. Like my brain might have exploded. So I just kind of opted to watch Double or Nothing in intervals.
Of course, because that's how you always watch Double or Nothing.
Not all the time, but yeah, pretty much at this point.
Yeah, come on, bro.
Didn't watch.
You got a lot of kick it. You got a lot of kick it. You got a lot of kick it.
Don't need to talk about the pre-sale matches. Anna Jay and Holly Cameron defeated Megan Bayne and Penelope Ford. Love that Anna Jay and that Holly Cameron. Good for them. Lost Titans Airline defeated Roppongi Vice and Action Spaghetti with some other people. Good for them.
Wait a minute, they're still there?
Who?
Roppongi Vice.
Yeah, Rocky Romero and Trent Beretta.
So he left best friends and went right back to okay.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
That brings us to the first match of the main card. Owen Hart Foundation Cup Tournament Final. Mercedes Marnette defeated Jamie Hayter in 21 minutes and 15 seconds. This needed to be like 7 minutes less than it actually was. I will say that it wasn't a bad match. Both girls.
It was a good match.
Huh?
It was a good. I mean, I would say this is Mercedes, one of her better matches at AEW.
That's what I was gonna say. Both girls actually had chemistry with each other. So they actually was able to do a good match. They kind of told the story of Jamie Hayter having an injured back, Mercedes, attacking that. So I can't be mad at the athleticism of them and them telling a story, but I could absolutely be mad at the fact that this should have ended like 10 minutes earlier than it actually did.
Okay.
But that's just my opinion.
I mean, it's the opening match, so keep in mind, we kept calling her the TBS champion, which is basically that bitch squashes people. So you might as well at least give her, a worthy opponent in which it seemed like it was believable that Mercedes could lose, and you really could see it there. And for the first time, Mercedes won, and it didn't seem like the crowd hated her for it.
You could maybe.
I mean, not as much as they used to.
At some point she has to lose.
Oh, she's losing to Tony. You can bet your ass on that.
Yeah. There's almost so much you could be, Sasha Hogan at this point. That don't work for me, brother. Or should it be, that don't work for me, sister. But it does kind of take away from the match the fact that we knew that, Mercedes was going to win. But it didn't take as much away from it than it usually does. maybe because it wasn't a title match, I'm not entirely sure. But
Well, it was a final, so I mean,
hmm
it it's essentially a championship match. A championship match because the Owen Hart thing is
right.
in itself as a champ. But Mercedes won. This was the matchup everybody wanted. So I'm not gonna kill it.
How many stars do you give it?
Um, Honestly, it was a solid 4. I mean, Hater gave it her all. I'm not gonna knock her on that.
hmm
I'm not gonna knock her because they had good chemistry, like we said, and uh, but that TBS, that bitch squashes championship is gonna do what she do.
Well, you got knocked Hato, but I'm gonna knock a half a star off this one. 3.5.
3.5. Wow.
Yeah.
Tough crowd.
It went too long, and that's why. Alright.
Well, you already know Melter did this one. Come on, bro. It's AEW. He slacked on the last one. It was like, bitch.
I say he gave this match 4.25.
Higher.
4.5.
4.5.
Okay. Alright. Then we have Fuck the Revival. Cash Wheeler, Dax Hardwood with Stokely defeating Daniel Garcia and Nigel McGuinness with Matt Menard in their corner. FTR won by technical submission in 22 minutes and 30 seconds. That's right. This meaningless tag team match with a fucking announcer in it went longer than two in their prime women that are wrestling regularly every single week. This match made no sense why it needed to be on a paid preview. It made no sense why it went as long as it did. I regret watching it every minute that it went longer than 11 minutes. It just was too much, and it didn't need. They could have did more, so much more in such less time, and they just don't understand the assignment. I mean, yes, it's nice to see Nigel being able to compete, but he doesn't need to be in meaningless tag team matches that could have been on a random Dynamite or Collision.
True. But like I said, this match, for some odd reason, it was like this second match was going as long, and by this time Stacks and them was already fighting, and I'm like, well, that's a problem. I'm like, that's a problem. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, there's that.
And I mean, it's unfortunately only a problem that everybody knows that only Tony doesn't kill.
I wouldn't say that he doesn't care.
I mean,
I just think
was for
it's.
a preview. It's a long fucking time.
I mean, that arena match was a whole hour in itself, and don't let's get started on that. But that's a whole.
I mean, we'll
That's
get
a
into
whole.
it, but,
We're gonna get there.
Yeah.
But Jesus Christ. Just saying. Just saying. But yeah, this match, yeah, it had no business on the card.
How many stars do you give this one?
2.5. Because there is a little botch in which the Revival had to push Nigel out the way so they could clothesline each other.
Yeah, I agree. 2.5. I don't want to be too hard on this one. Uncle Dave, oof. 3.5?
Higher.
4.
Higher.
4.25?
4.5.
4.5, son of a bitch. Okay. Okay, I think I'm in tune with Uncle Dave now. Alright, Ricochet defeated Mark Briscoe in a stretcher match that also had an ambulance match. In 16 minutes and 20 seconds. It was weird because you had to put your opponent in an ambulance, but they also had to be on a stretcher, which is like an extra step. But I digress.
Yeah, they just called it an ambulance match.
Right. And honestly,
and explain the steps. I mean, just saying.
Despite it being, a little more complicated than it necessarily had to be, I didn't entirely hate the match. Maybe that's just the Mark Briscoe charm, that he could make things work. Obviously he bled like a stuffed pig, but
yeah, no shit. He always bleeds like a stuffed pig.
But I mean, that's what you would expect in a match like this, I would believe. I honestly thought that it wasn't a bad match, and I think that it made Ricochet look good. Mark Briscoe, Neville not looks good. I'm trying to think if there was anything I hated in this match other than just there was so many extra steps. Other than he bled a lot. But what say you, Kaliko?
I mean, yeah, that's pretty much it. It's like, I mean, do they have? I swear to God, they should be sponsored by what the hell is that called? The American Red Cross, because they giving so much goddamn blood. It makes no goddamn sense.
It's definitely a waste.
But maybe it bladed and it hit a vein. But I'll give him that much. But the right guy won to get to keep people on his ass, because he gets to say, I beat this guy, and who knows, he might take it there with, I'm better than him and I'm better than your brother, and God knows where they're gonna go. But the right guy won.
I give it 3.5. What say you?
3.75. It was it was kind of / entertainment / it was just the shenanigan. But then again, compared to what this is tame compared to what the hell we saw in the Anarchy match. So 3.
Your quarter and 3/14 us, Kaliko. Your Melcher is rubbing off on you.
Oh gosh, no! How dare you?
Uncle Dave gave this 4 stars.
Oh gosh, I wish higher.
4.5.
4.5. See, there you go.
We have the Ouchie Business, Robert Lashley and Benjamin Shelton with VIP, defeating the Sons of Texas, Dustin Rhodes and Sammy Guevara, to retain the AEW World Tag Team Championships in 12 minutes, 35 seconds.
Next.
AEW Continental Breakfast match. Kazuchika Okaya defeated Speed Testicle, Mike Bailey, and
Next.
I'll say this: it wasn't that match. This one match wasn't that bad.
It wasn't that bad, but consider we see better from Okada. He knows better.
I think that this is the best Okada could give us at this point, if I'm being honest.
Oh wow.
Like, I mean, it's not like we're necessarily in his prime Okada, where he's going an hour and a half with Kenny Omega.
I mean, eesh. I guess.
I feel like I kind of rocked your world with that comment.
Yeah, you really did. You damn right you did. I was like, wait a minute, what? He talking about? I mean, at one point he was the number one guy in the world.
And now he's just having okay matches with okay guys.
Getting paid a hell of a lot of money.
Probably more than he was when he was at his peak. But
yeah, man. Nah. Endorsement wise, I think he was probably killing it in Japan. He ran the goddamn torch at the Olympics, man.
I mean, how much is he getting paid for that torch?
But no, my point was he was considered an ambassador of the country, for crying out loud.
And now he's just having okay matches with okay guys.
Oh yeah. How far he's came. All right, let's get to you. Okay, let's get next match. I mean, these two really don't need to be rated. I mean, personally, both of those matches that we just skipped were threes, and we knew that the person was gonna win. So it ain't like we're.
Well, I mean, I didn't even watch the Horse and Naked match, so I would give it 2 fast forward bars, in my opinion. I mean, the fuck I want to see Dustin Rhodes and Sammy Guevara in 2025.
Touché.
But I'll say that the Horse and Naked match, Dave Meltzer gave it 3 7/5, and Okada got 4 1/4.
You said what was the first one?
3 7/5.
Lower.
3.5.
3.5, and then the other one.
4 1/4.
Spot on. I mean, it is Okada.
Yeah. Right. We got Timeless Tony Storms with Luther Vandross defeating Mina Shirakawa to retain her AEW Women's World Championship in 15 minutes and 49 seconds. I mean, this was the match that I wanted to see.
I think this is the match everybody wanted to see.
And boy, did we see a lot of it. We saw everything that we wanted. The match was fantastic. The entrances were fantastic. The dancing was fantastic. And it was sealed with a kiss at the end. 5 fucking stars.
Wow.
What say you, Kaliko?
Not a Jesus. I mean, yeah, they worked well together though. But then again, this was 5 though.
But I mean, Mina coming out right off the bat is 3 stars right there. Then you
So Mina breathing is 3 stars. But that's what that sounded like. Just saying.
Then I mean the athleticism and the match itself, that's another star and a half, and then the kiss at the end, 5 stars.
Hey, you like it. I love it. Okay. I can see your point. And I'm just going to be the guy, 4.5.
How dare you just cut it down by a half a star?
Hey,
Okay, Uncle Dave, 4.5.
Lower.
4.
4. See? Even.
Well, Dave Meltzer doesn't like beautiful women, so. Alright, from the greatest chicken dinner that you could ever have in your life to the ugliest chicken shit that you'd ever see in your life. Anarchy in the Arena, Kenny Omega, Swerve Strickland, Willow Nightingale, Samoa Joe, Powerhouse Snobs, Katsuri Shibata Bread with Prince Nana Nana, Nana Nana, Hey Hey, Goodbye, defeated neo-Nazi Moxicillin, Claudio Ida Cannoli, Marina You Should Fear, Dord Wheeler Useless, and the Young Fucks, Matt Yu and Nicholas Jackson. In 35 minutes and 10 seconds. This was a clusterfuck of what the fuck. We knew that it was going to be. These matches are basically just gifs of big moves in unison, one after another. It was so stupid with they started with the Bucks coming out to like founding father music, Yankee Doodle Dandy, I believe. Then the music went to I'm So Excited, and then it went to Let the Bodies Hit the Floor. Well, I love Let the Bodies Hit the Floor. It just didn't. The songs just didn't make sense at this point. Like
Let the bodies hit the floor didn't make sense.
I mean, when they did it the last time, the last couple of times, Anarchy in the Arena, it was Wild Thing. I mean, the song that Kenny Omega comes out to. So, I mean, it made sense at the time that the music would, kind of play out, continuing. But this is just, hokey shit to be hokey.
Really?
Yeah. Like I said,
mean, my kid was thoroughly entertained. That motherfucker. He was like, this motherfucker. He was like, oh my God, there is an exploding tape. But then again, full disclosure, he never really watched AEW like that. So.
And I mean, also, he's a John Cena fan, so he can't be trusted.
Wow. Oh, wow. I mean, let him tell it. He's the GOAT, sir. And he was the only one sitting up there. He might as well have been flipping everybody off at Mania when Cena won, because that's basically what he was doing, short of that. But, yeah.
So you liked the match?
The match was it was entertaining. Plus, Willow was in it. Can't say no to Willow. See?
Okay, so your counter is Willow Nightingale was in it.
Yes. I'm trying to find something positive other than an exploding table that got powerbombed through and Swerve doing a swerve stomp in his new shoes filled with thumbtacks, and my son looking at it like, what the fuck? Just saying.
How many stars do you give it?
These things are always clustered, but that's the whole point. So why am I even gonna bother other than giving it like a 4, 3.5, 4 tops? It's meant to be a clusterfuck of what the fuck, and it served its purpose.
I give it 1.5.
Damn.
Yeah. And I mean, it was already a clusterfuckery match. Then you have run-ins, like you have fucking, Gabe Kidd coming in, and Mark Briscoe, who was half dead like 2 matches prior, and Hook coming in, and like, it just made you wonder who was actually in the match and who wasn't in the match. And I mean, there was already 12 people in the match. It didn't need to be any more confusing than it already was.
Boy. 1 star.
Yep, 1.5.
1.5.
Uncle Dave gave this 4.5, didn't he?
Higher.
4 7/5.
Higher.
5?
5.
Wow.
What you gave Tony, he gave. Just put that in perspective, sir. What he gave Tony, what he gave this match, you gave Tony.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Alright.
Mm-hmm.
We got Don Callis family. Colt Kutska takes Shitter, Kyle Flatulence, and Josh Alexander. They defeated the Paragon. What the fuck were they called, the Paragon? Undisputed Era. Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly parts, and Roderick Strong.
Next.
12 minutes, 50 seconds. Yeah. After that clusterfuck, you expect people to be entertained by this? That being said, it wasn't a bad match.
I felt bad for Adam Cole. They had to follow that fucking clusterfuck that happened. That's basically it.
I mean, luckily this was like the shortest match on the card, so that was appreciated.
Well, because Ospreay was next. You gotta give him an hour.
For the length, I'll give it 4 stars.
Not even for the match, just for how long it was. Jesus Christ.
I didn't see the match, but it was 12 minutes, 4 stars. I like the people in the match.
Oh, Lord.
No, I did see the match.
Considering the other one, considering that cluster, they have to follow 3.
Dave Meltzer gave this 3.5.
Higher.
3 7/5.
3 7/5.
Alright. Then we have the Owen Hart Foundation Cup Tournament Final. We have Pornstar's Adam Page defeating Will Ospreay in 36 minutes and 56 seconds.
Told you. Basically, Iron Man match.
More or less. I couldn't say that I really cared about the match. It was okay. I don't see where people in the arena would have cared because, you know, it's basically midnight when the match starts. And
well, I mean, it's in
that.
Arizona. It's not midnight there, but yeah.
Oh, that's right. It was midnight for people on the East Coast. My bad. We're hearing midnight on the West Coast.
Well, it's not like they had to go to work the next day.
Are you?
I mean,
is Tony paying you? Are you like a spokesperson at this point?
No, I'm just throwing that out there. That's all.
Well, actually, no. This was Sunday. Actually, no. Yes, you're right. It was.
Yeah, Memorial Day was the next day. It ain't like they had to go. It ain't like they had some places to be.
I mean, keep in mind, I didn't watch this all in one go. But I was already spent with this paid preview, having to watch as much of it as I
Oh yeah,
endured.
yeah. It was long as fuck. I told you NXT. Say what you want to talk about WWE, they get it to the point. Like, bitch, yeah, your attention span ain't that long.
Yeah, when people's attention spans are a 30-second TikTok video, this was like Gone with the Wind.
I mean, yeah, pretty much. This was.
More
You might as well
decent.
have been watching the decathlon. You might as well have been watching like the world's toughest mudder 24 hours straight. That little 24-hour marathon that they have. So I mean,
Yeah. But yeah, Adam Page won. That it doesn't make any sense to me. Will Ospreay was literally right fucking there.
because the crowd was on it, man.
Were they though?
The crowd was cheering for Heyman. Yeah. Yeah. You didn't watch this match, did you?
No, I did, but it seemed like they were still, 50-50.
But I mean, yeah, no, the right guy won.
The problem I have with it is more than likely Page isn't going to win at All In. So
He might. He got a better shot now. Darby's still fucking riding around on the goddamn mountain somewhere. Shit. It's
he's starting to come
I
down.
mean, yeah, so that's what I'm saying. He snooze you lose, homie.
So I mean, why? He's been there 5 years. Ospreay has came in maybe like a year ago, like year and a half, let's say,
Mm-hmm.
and people are behind him. Why wouldn't you have just pulled the trigger? It doesn't make sense to me, in my opinion.
Because that the crowd was behind Hangman. You bugging, dude. I'm telling you.
I mean, maybe I am, but
I mean, they're behind him, bro. He's a day one A1.
how many stars you give this?
I mean, it was a good match. The crowd was hyped for it. They were going for Hangman. I'll give it a solid. I mean, this wasn't the match of the night, so a solid 4.
I give it 3.
Oh shit!
All right, so
You don't even want to know.
6.5.
Huh?
6.5.
Well, damn, not that high, but
5.5.
5. Survey says, yeah, 5.5.
Because
It's high.
Ospreay was in it, so it immediately makes it a 5-star match.
Damn. So anything else is just gravy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God, damn, bro.
Just for anybody that's interested, the attendance for this for Double or Nothing was 8,179. 79. There were still roughly 600 tickets still available, so not a sellout, but still a pretty decent number of people for AEW, considering that they're in 2,000 seat arenas nowadays rather than 10,000. So, it was a success in their book.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, I'm not downing them. I'm just saying it was they did well. They packed an arena.
The condescending tones.
There was no condescending tone. I just sound this way.
Pretty good for them. that they're doing 2,000 seats instead of 10,000.
I mean,
Yeah, bro. Very consistent.
WWE next week they're going to be in an 18,000 seat arena and sell out an 18,000 seat arena. TNA, they did roughly a 4,000 people in Los Angeles. So I mean, they're in the middle, and they're doing the best that they can with what they have, and people aren't necessarily buying a lot of tickets. To Dynamite, Collision, but people do seem to still buy tickets to the pay previews, so they have that going for them.
Because that's where they put the dream matches on.
Mhm.
Yeah, I would. Why wouldn't they?
All right. The show as a whole, thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs in the middle.
It was it felt like a New Japan show, like a long ass New Japan show. With that being said, it was actually an okay show. I mean, if they had got rid of the Hurt Syndicate, the Okada, and the Callis family, it would have probably been a thumbs up. And FTR. Damn, that's like half the card. Yeah, if they had got rid of half the card.
That's not necessarily a glowing endorsement of the card, Kaliko.
Well, I'm trimming the fat, and that still didn't take out an hour of this time. So, shit. But, no, overall, it was good. It was a good show. Long in the tooth is a usual AEW show, but a good show. Thumbs. Damn, that sounds like, yeah. Fuck it, thumb up. I'll give it a thumb up. The goods were goods, the bads were bad, so you just gotta live with it.
I'm kind of on the scale of, should I give it a thumbs in the middle or thumbs down at this point? Because like you said, the good shit was watchable, the bad shit was really bad. It's just a matter of, was the bad shit as that bad that it made me
not want to watch anything no more. Yeah.
Yeah.
See. The way they placed their matches could have been better too, but
that's been a problem with AEW for a long time as well. I'll give it thumbs in the middle purely because of Tony Storm, Mina Shirakawa.
I knew it. Jesus Christ. Because they were there.
Yes, and that was enough.
Yeah.
Alright, that will conclude our coverage of AEW, Double or Nothing. And we are wrestling with NXT Worlds Collide. It takes place...
Or is it called WWE Worlds Collide? I don't know.
It's called Worlds Collide, so I don't know. Yeah, it takes place next Saturday in Inglewood, California, at the Kia Forum.
Inglewood.
That you're correct. Five matches on the card. Depending on who you ask, this could be a banger. This could be a question mark. Have you seen the card as of now, Kaliko? And what are your thoughts?
So far, it's just like a mix of NXT main event people, main roster people, and the rest of the Mexican community. Just like Like literally, they were like, "Oh, we don't. We." I don't think I don't even think they think they're in Los Angeles. They say Los Angeles because the way that they stacking this card is Los. It's not Los Angeles. It's Los Angeles.
It does seem like a lot of the matches were just instead of building them, they just kind of took them. They pulled them out of a hat and said, "Okay, these are the people that are gonna wrestle these people."
That part, plus it just seemed like they just are way making up for Hispanic Heritage Month. Just saying.
All right, we have a six-man tag match, which is a Mexicano special. We have Legado del Fantasma, Santa Escobar, Angel, and Berto versus El Hijo, D. Dr. Wagner Jr., Panagano, and Psycho Clown.
I
How many stars you give this one? Oh no, wait.
Yeah, I know. It seems like we've been reviewing.
How many stars did Meltzer give this one? And you're like, he gave it 5 stars. And it didn't even fucking happen yet.
Didn't even happen yet. Jesus Christ.
Who wins the match, Kaliko?
This is a weird thing because you would think this would be like a WWE sweep based on what happened with the next. It seems to be that case. I'm gonna say Legado del Fantasma for the win.
I'm gonna say they need to give the AAA people a match. And,
They're gonna give him a match.
no, I mean a W.
They are gonna get a W.
Well, I think it's gonna be this match. I think they're going. I think. I'm sorry. Del Fantasma is in jobber, territory. It doesn't necessarily hurt them if they take an L here. So, Dr. Wagner Jr. checks Berto's prostate. I don't know, but they win.
Okay.
Alright, then we have another 6-man tag match. LWO, Dragon Lee, Cruz del Toro, and Jacqueline Wild versus Octagon Jr., Aerial Star, and Mr. Iguana. Who wins,
That's a good one. Wait a minute, I don't see that one. Let me see. Let's see all the other ones. That must have, repeat that squad again.
Dragon Lee, Cruz del Torito, and Jacqueline Wild versus Octagon Jr.
Oh, they getting their asses beat. Now that's the team you need to work. You over here thinking that Legado del Fantasma is gonna win, and then
No, I said Legado Fantasma is gonna lose.
no, I'm saying they're gonna win, and then the other group is gonna beat Dragon Lee because Dragon Lee, I mean, talk about unutilized. Jeez.
I disagree. I think if anybody's taking the W in this match, is Dragon Lee is gonna get the pin. He's gonna get the W.
So we're just disagreeing already. We've been agreeing all night, and all of a sudden,
who knew AAA would come between us?
Para mi gente.
Now, we have a tag team match: Stephanie McClure and Lola Rice versus Chick Tormenta and Dialis.
Dialysis?
Dialis. I'm gonna go with dialysis. Sure. I don't know. It's just like Daily.
Dales? Dallas? Daylight?
It's like,
Daylight?
I mean, like, there's no
I can't.
squiggly
We should
lines
not
on
be
top of
fucking up this
anything.
name.
So I mean,
Let's not. Let's not fuck this up. Okay.
who wins, Kaliko?
It's gonna be interesting because the core can't lose, right?
I would hope so. It makes the most sense to me that she gets the W.
I mean, especially when she took the slap. So I guess our receipt would be, you know.
Yeah. So I think we're agreed. Stephanie McClure with the W.
Yeah, we're gonna get the ah.
Yeah. Alright, fatal four-way match for the NXT North American Championship. Ethan Page versus...
Ethan Page, next.
He kills
You
him with
ain't
a
got to
slam.
name the rest. You just got the bitch. Come on, bro. Ethan Page, next.
Yeah. I mean, it makes the most sense, honestly. Alright, and then we have already says it. Chad Gable versus El Hijo del Vikingo. Depending on what happens later today, which is Alberto El Patron, aka Alberto Del Rio, will be defending that the AAA Mega Championship against Vikingo later tonight, well today. Already says it's for the championship, so I think we kind of know who's going to win the title. So Chad Gable gets a AAA Mega Championship title match at Worlds Collide.
Mm-hmm.
So I think probably Vikingo wins this match, no?
I mean, it was a L when they announced the match.
I mean, if it was El Grande Americano, then
El Grande Americano squashed.
no, he would have won. He was gonna win.
What?
Yeah.
No.
He's undefeated against luchadors. Kaliko.
That's why I said El Viking Americano gets the dub.
Oh, I thought you said El Vikingo gets the dub.
No, Americano gets the dub.
Okay. But it is just normal plain Chad Gable, so I would have made the argument why
No,
wasn't...
hey, sir, that's not Chad Gable. You're alleging, sir.
I didn't say that was Chad Gable. I said that we're getting Chad Gable.
Yes, we're getting Chad Gable.
So, I mean, if it was Grande, then yeah, he was gonna win. But it makes sense now why it is Chad Gable, because he's gonna take the L.
Yes.
Is there a reason what is his name? Obafemi's not on this card?
Because Obafemi would beat the brakes off of all of them. Catch a murder charge.
Yeah, I can't necessarily disagree with that.
And this is in Los Angeles. It is an all Latino card.
But they're in Eaglewood, which is a primarily black area.
How much use How much you think they gonna say Inglewood? They gonna say Los Angeles. They
Don't, ma-
didn't yell at Los Angeles.
don't matter what they're saying, it's where they are.
Hey, where they are, they're in Los Angeles. They're trying to get their Spanish demographics up, man. Come on. Los, Los Angeles. Say it with me now. Los Angeles.
No.
I mean, you're in Pasadena, not Pasadena, Pasadena. Sí, también.
Are you good?
I mean, I'm, Duolingo.
That will conclude our coverage of Worlds Collide. Hopefully, we'll get Kaliko without closed captions on our next preview.
Hey, man, just don't do. I listen to Chalito Sanchez. You know what I'm saying?
We are wrestling with WWE Money in the Bank. It's also on Saturday, next Saturday, I should say, in Inglewood, California, at the Intuit Dome. The tagline is "The last time is now," which has been like literally every fucking paid preview for the last 4 months. Well, 6 months at this point. But 4 matches have been announced. I'm assuming something will be announced. One more match will be announced between now and then. But yeah.
I mean, so far, I think we got.
We have 4 matches. There's usually 5, but I think last year there was 4, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see.
See, 1, 2,
There were
3, 4. Yeah, that's 4.
There was 5 matches.
So one more is jumping. One more is jumping in there.
But I mean, it wouldn't make sense to do this review literally hours before the show, even though we've done it before.
I mean, we'll be there, so I mean, shit.
Yeah, as well.
By the time you hear this, the Chronicles is cashing in. Money, 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 money. Money, money.
Dollar, 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 dollar.
Bills, y'all.
Alright. Let's get into it. Last chance match for the WWE Women's Intercontinental Championship. Lara Valkyria versus Becky Lynch. If Lara loses, she will be forced to raise Lynch's hand and recognize her as the better woman, even though she's the man. If Lynch loses, she can no longer challenge for the title as long as Valkyria is champion. Who wins, Kaliko?
Considering I said Becky Lynch was going to win the last one. Oh, I thought they were going to pull that trigger. So that means they got to pull it now. Laria's about to go get married. Holla, Laria. Go get married. Go get married while Becky runs this shit. And Becky Bailey, IC title SummerSlam.
I mean, does
Book
Becky
it.
barely have to be for the championship? I mean, the story's there.
But the belt ups the ante because it's the 4 horsewomen.
The thing that holds me back from saying Becky's going to win is that Lara has to raise her hand after the match, which is a whole segment in itself.
Who said it had to be a Money in the Bank? They could be on Raw.
I'm imagining it's right after the match when she loses.
I mean, hey, never know.
I say, but if Lara wins, then nothing happens. Becky just can't wrestle for the title, which doesn't need to involve an extra segment of the show. So I'm gonna say what I said last time and say Lara wins, but it's going to be with Bailey coming in and screwing up Becky Lynch.
Oh, I don't see that. Okay, I get it, but I mean,
But you're going
I still sticking with my guns, Becky.
okay.
Becky Balboa.
Now we have Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso versus John Cena and Logan Paul. You know, it's funny, John Cena wants to ruin wrestling, and he told Jey Uso, it would ruin wrestling if a YouTuber won the World Championship, which isn't necessarily a compliment to Logan Paul, and yet he's teaming with Logan Paul. But
It wasn't like he wanted to. Cody just said that's happening.
like he had Nick Aldis ready to go.
Pretty much.
I mean, it's happening, so yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't like John Cena said, I will gladly team with. I mean, he's like, me and my homeboy, Logan Paul, he just like, bitch, what? I'm teaming with who?
Who wins the match?
Ooh, that's a good question. Because somebody's got to take a pen. I would think Cody would win. Cody pins Cena. Yeah, it's got to be Cody and Jay, unless the only reason I could see them having him lose is to make Jay a vulnerable vulnerable for the title match that's happening 2 days later. But I don't see that happening, so I'm gonna go Cody Goose.
I say Cody pins Cena.
It would have to be.
Yeah, which will project us to SummerSlam. Alright, now to the two main events. The namesake of the PLE, Money in the Bank ladder match for the women's championship contract. We have Alexa Bliss versus Roxanne Perez versus Rhea Ripley versus Julia versus Naomi. One is to be determined, which will be determined on Raw, which could be either Ivy Nile, Liv Morgan, or Stephanie McMahon. I would arguably say that Liv Morgan wins that match. I believe you said Vicor is going to win that match. I don't believe Vicor is going to have a tag team match in a matinee tag team match, and then a full-on main event ladder match later in the day. But
Why do you think it's a tag match? Less work, my brother.
True. I mean, I'm not going to be mad to say that to see Stephanie twice in the day, but we'll see. Who wins, Kaliko?
The Money in the Bank winner. This is about as wide open as a field as you can get, right?
Yeah.
Because here's the thing.
Nobody's really attached to anybody.
Roxanne and Julia are not winning it.
I agree. Agreed.
We can agree with that. So then depending on who's the sixth qualifier, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's Vakor or Liv, I don't see them winning it. So then it comes down to Bliss, Naomi, and Ripley. And this is where it gets tricky because Bliss has already won it.
Mm-hmm.
So that takes her out. Unless they just want to rocket her to it, but I don't see that happening. I see her and Charlotte going at it. Which leaves Ripley, Naomi. The question is, does Ripley really need the briefcase?
Well, this is how I kind of looked at it. Because I kind of do have an idea of who is going to win. And Rhea is my first pick. Sim- because first and foremost, it's one thing she hasn't done yet. She hasn't won Money in the Bank. Number two, on Raw, she already proclaimed herself Mommy in the Bank. So, I mean, you don't say something like that when you're not gonna win. And third of all, if this was in any other arena in any other city, I would say it would maybe be wide open. But considering that Rhea Ripley has won 2 world championships in that city, literally 6 months ago in that arena, it's gonna be Rhea Ripley.
Ooh, I mean, do we usually pick one or two with these? I can't
We
remember.
usually do our main pick and then our dark horse pick.
So then my main pick is Naomi
And why is Naomi your main pick?
because I just explained it all. Um, Roxanne, Julia, and if it's the core, they're too young. Roxanne, Julia, and Liv, Roxanne and Liv are going to go at it. Cancels each other out. Rhea and Liv can go at it. Cancel each other out. Bliss, eh. Naomi seems to be the only one where it wins and it will further a story.
In what way?
Because keep in mind, um, her and Cargill ain't over.
Mm-hmm.
And I could easily see Naomi trying to cash in and Cargill is just fucking up her cash ins every which way from Sunday.
I could see that as well.
And her beating that stacked match just yesterday, you don't put. I mean, yes, she could be like the athletic person, but think. I don't think you put her. I think She's my main, and Bria'll be the second. But yeah, Naomi is my number one pick.
Rhea is my number one pick, and my second pick is going to be Vakor. If they actually put her in this match, and she's wrestling earlier in the day, there's no way that they're going to put her in a ladder match just to put her in a ladder match. They're gonna start like her, NXT run, they're strapping the Rocket to her ass. They want her, and there's a reason that they fast tracked her so soon, and it would be quite a story. She wrestled earlier that night, earlier that day, and then coming in and winning the Money in the Bank. It kind of
And
just
she would lose the Mexican match then.
not necessarily. When WWE is
I
behind
would
somebody,
think
they're
so.
behind somebody.
But I mean,
Keep in mind that she
the
didn't.
last person that won two.
Keep in mind she didn't drop the title and both titles at in NXT. She just relinquished it.
Two last person that won two matches in one night
Was
on
that
two
correct?
different pay-per-views.
Well, not two different pay previews, but two matches in the same day was Stephanie. She beat Jada Parker and was it Fallon Henley?
Was it Alan Henry? Probably.
Yeah. She
Yeah, they told you, man, they could rush her. You talk about they been using, they been running her ass like a goddamn ragged horse. And you over here talking about, like,
so yeah. She's my second pick
fucking,
if it happens.
fucking having 18 matches a day, and you over here talking about they not running her.
Well, if they're running her rocket, at least
Jesus
she's getting
Christ.
W's. It's not like they're running a rocket and she's losing every single match.
True.
All right, so I'm Rhea
Yeah.
and Vakor, and you are Naomi and Rhea.
Yeah, I don't see the core. That's a hell of a hot shot. I don't see that happening over Naomi.
Okay. And that brings us to the Money in the Bank ladder match for the men's championship contract. We have Solo Coca-Cola, La Knight, Penta, Seth Rollins, and Andrade del Idaho, with one to be announced, which can either be AJ Styles, CM Punk, or El Grande Americano. Who wins, Kaliko?
When the El Grande Americano can qualify for Money in the Bank before Chad Gable?
Apparently, yeah.
Holy shit.
They're just not giving Chad a fair shake.
So that is interesting. So I'm gonna call the final qualifier is CM Punk.
Okay.
Which makes this very interesting. Because Punk and Rollins are gonna cancel each other out. Andrade versus Penta might cancel each other out. Oh, that's right. Because we thought Fatu was gonna win.
Right.
Number one pick, LA Knight.
Okay.
This seems like the one he should have won last year. Except Drew won it and cashed it in, and that furthered the CM Punk storyline, which was a great way to use it. I'm not even gonna lie to you. But so Punk will not. I mean, Punk can't be a three-time winner. There will not be a three-time winner. Rollins winning it again. I could see Punk being a thorn in the side. Now, if Punk does not qualify, it then the backup would be Seth. So to me, it's Knight or Seth.
All right, so you're going with Knight for your number one, and Set as your second.
Yes.
Okay, so you ready to hear mine?
You better not say Solo Sikoa.
No, not Solo Sikola, but El Grande Americano will be your Money in the Bank
Boy.
ladder match champion.
Oh.
El Grande Americano in the bank. This is how I kind of see it going. Monday, Punk, Punk, AJ, and El Grande Americano set fucks Punk. They'll set up some type of tag team match. Punk and maybe Sammy against Reed and a Breaker at Money in the Bank. Rollins.
Why would they do that when they just did that on Native?
Because it's to give Bronson Reed a match.
Ay.
Then we have either a Punk or a Roman or somebody is gonna come into the Money in the Bank and fuck Set up. Solo's not gonna win because he's Solo. he's going for the United States Championship. We all know this. Penta's there for the what the fuck moment.
Los Angeles.
Yeah. Andrade is there because of demographic. But he's fucking useless. Nobody expects him to win. So, and it would just. I know I said this for the Stephanie McCall match, but it would be straight up hilarious if Chad Gable lost to El Grande El Vikino at Worlds Collide, but El Grande Americano wins the Money in the Bank at Money in the Bank.
Help me, Lord Jesus.
So yeah, I think my number one pick is a one El Grande Americano. And then my second pick will be LA Knight. Because he's not really doing anything right now, and he's not in the United States picture, so it stands to reason that he would be in the heading up into the next, going higher. So,
moving on up.
There you go. Alright. That will conclude our coverage.
Grande Americano, though?
If it was in any other state but Los Angeles, then maybe you have an opinion on it, but I think El Grande Americano in Los Angeles, it's gonna work. It's gonna be great. Alright, I think that concludes our coverage of our preview of Money in the Bank. I think that concludes this episode as a whole as well.
Marathon.
You're not wrong about that. Definitely a marathon. But we got through it. And if you have listened up to this point, you've gotten through it too. And thank you so much for doing so.
And you get a gold medal.
Absolutely. That'll conclude this episode
You
as a whole.
didn't have to break your neck for it.
Thank you for listening. If you like what we're doing, please like, subscribe, comment, both on YouTube and Castbox. This was sponsored by Rogue Energy and Play One Coffee. Join us this Tuesday as we interview Matsuko, this Wednesday as we interview Nigel Foxy Fox, and join us every Tuesday and Wednesday for new incredible interviews, and follow the show at Wrestling with E on an Extra and Instagram for information on who we're interviewing, when we're interviewing them, links to those interviews, and so much more. Follow me personally at JamesJ993. Where can we find Kaliko?
I am Kaliko. Once I get my breath back.
For Kaliko Yachts and Scooter Dust, I'm James J, and this has been Wrestling with Entertainment.
Here comes the money. Money, 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 money. Because it's money in the bank. Get it? No?
Yep.
See myself out.
I get it.
Hey folks, this is the Colossal Mike Law, and you are listening to Wrestling with Entertainment. Enjoy the show, support these guys. We appreciate it very much. We'll see you at ringside.